For 6 Sundays in the season of Easter, the second reading is taken from the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation. And for the 4th, 5th, and 6th Sundays, the last 2 chapters are from the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation. Now, why is that during this Easter season? The book of Revelation is about the great battle between good and evil. You have all these monsters in the book, grotesque monsters fighting one another. But it's the slain lamb that wins out. But the reason that the book of Revelation is so emphasized in the second reading every Sunday is that the resurrection of our Lord is applied to the end of time when it's all over. The Gospels tell us about the resurrection of Jesus. The book of Revelation tells us about the resurrection of the cosmos at the end of time and space. And it's amazing how it does that. The temple in Jerusalem has already been destroyed when the book was written. And the book talks about how a new temple on the way, a new Jerusalem, the city itself, comes down from heaven on Jerusalem down to the earth. It becomes the new temple on the way. And of course, the temple is the place where God and humanity come together in worship. The temple is certainly the central point of the Old Testament. But now there will be a new temple. It'll be the new earth. It'll be the new heavens. What is so different about this image of the resurrection? It's not about going up to heaven. It's about heaven coming down on earth, coming into the cosmos and transforming it. One of the basic themes of the Jewish Testament was, of course, the temple, the harmony that God and man had together in the Garden of Eden. Paradise there was like a temple where God and humans were together in adoration and in joy. But it was lost. And then you have the Ark of the Covenant, in a way a new temple that has a covenant where humanity and God come together again. You have Abraham offering the sacrifice of his son. The whole purpose is to bring humanity and God together in the sacrifice. You have Moses coming down from the mountain, coming down and there offering a sacrifice, bringing the law down, the law of the 10 Commandments that will reconcile God and humanity once again. And finally, for almost 1,000 years, in the first temple and the second temple in Jerusalem, you have sacrifices offering to bring God and man together in this very special way. The coming of God on earth, the coming of a new temple, is bringing together man and God. And that's what the end of the world is all about. The book of Revelation says it's a nuptial banquet, celebrating the marriage between the slain Lamb and all of creation. They're together in harmony again. There'll be great joy. We should not be distracted by the terrible battle between good and evil in the apocalypse. We should be thrilled by the fact that this world of ours, the whole cosmos, will have another life, a new birth, a new creation. And what does this tell us? It tells us that things come together in this world, not just God and humanity, but the entire human community comes together with God. That religion and politics that has been separated, and we still say you shouldn't talk about either one, yet they come together at the end of the world and become one, and all the glory of God will be found in the politics of the new creation, where the public and the private come together. So this challenges us today that new evangelization is not to be directed so much to individuals as to be directed to those areas that will come together at the end of the world. But the resurrection begins now. How do we bring God into politics? How do we bring God into the business world? How do we bring God into the media? How do we bring God into entertainment? How do we bring God into the inner city where drugs and gangs are prevailing? That's the grand promise at the end of the world. But we are challenged now to do something about that. Certainly we can do about it in our prayers. The Bible talks about when the harmony between God and humans is destroyed, then we have violence in the world. But when we have God and humanity together, we have peace. We look at our world today, and we don't find too much peace, either internationally. We don't find too much peace, even in our own government. We don't find it in the business world. We don't find it in the inner city. Often we do not even find peace in the family itself. Why? Because God is not there, or God is being ignored, or God is being diminished. It's only when we evangelize these areas and we bring God into it, we not only bring peace, we bring an honesty, we bring a justice, we bring not alienation, but togetherness. And that is the grand challenge of the Easter season, that we participate now in the resurrection of Christ, but we also participate now, or begin to, in the resurrection of the world when it all comes together. The Gospels are called good news, but there's also good news in the book of the Revelation. Do not be distracted by the terrible event of the end of this world, because a new world, a new creation, when this world of ours is transformed, as Christ was transformed, and we will be transformed, and so will the entire world be transformed. So let us begin in prayer to bring God into all areas of human life.